Hello everyone, my name is Leo, I'm a trailer editor, and today we're going to be taking a look at and analyzing the trailer for The Last of Us Season 2. Now, this isn't your typical trailer reaction channel. My goal is to learn with you the different techniques that Hollywood uses to make their trailers so effective and that just make you go and watch what they put out. Or at the very least, just make you go, nice. So, without further ado, and because I'm a huge The Last of Us fan, let's get into it and watch the trailer.
Oh, you want to start or what? Let's try something different.
They're doing it.
You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud. Say the thing you're afraid to say. Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad. What did you do?
Oh. God. Oh. God, that was so good. So let's just get into it. Leo from the future here with a brand new shirt. Let's analyze this trailer. The most obvious thing to point out is this is not a trailer, this is a teaser or a teaser trailer for the series. What that means is it's not focused on the story itself, but it's focused on showcasing the vibe of the series, teasing the audience to what's to come, and kind of just leave people excited for the new season. And it does that in a way that really teaches editors a lot about storytelling, because even though it doesn't tell the plot in any way, it really showcases how you can still tell a story without that plotline. It's something done masterfully in this trailer. The editor has created two threads, an emotional thread and the narrative thread. The trailer opens with that emotional thread. A woman, which the subtitles refer to only as speaker, winds up a countdown clock, which starts to tick. And then she asks the person in front of her if they want to start.
Oh, you want to start or what?
The person is revealed to be Joel, and that's when the trailer begins. Why do I say this is the emotional thread? Because as the trailer progresses, we keep coming back to this scene. The trailer starts in a very positive and optimistic light, but we keep hearing the woman speak.
Let's try something different.
And for a while, we keep hearing the ticking faintly before it fades away and is replaced by a guitar.
Let's try something different.
As she's insisting for Joel to say something he's too afraid to say, the tension of the trailer starts rising, both in terms of the audio and the images we're being shown. And all throughout, Joel is not speaking.
Say the thing you're afraid to say. Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad.
So we can interpret the mood of the trailer as a representation of the character's emotional state, becoming more and more uncomfortable with the questions being asked as time goes on. In the midpoint of the trailer, when the speaker becomes more direct in her speech and asks, "What did you do?" she's framed in a very intrusive way, with a close-up of her face looking straight to the camera.
What did you do?
We end in a tense moment before the music abruptly stops and the image cuts to black, leaving the question lingering. This is when we start seeing several glimpses of dangerous situations, always cutting to black. No sound is accompanying any of the images and there is no music playing. Instead, we only get this rising ringing and distorted sound, which players of the game might recognize from a particular scene. The clips playing are very short and cut to black quickly, almost as if the trailer itself is trying to hold back something, in the same way Joel is trying to hold back something painful. We stop cutting to black and the ticking that we opened the trailer with starts playing again, creating a progressive return to that first scene while simultaneously increasing the tension. We see a close-up of Ellie screaming intensely before cutting back to a close-up of Joel with a tear rolling down his face. This particular shot contrasts all the previous ones by having little to no movement, and we stay with this shot for longer. When Joel raises his look to the woman as if he's about to finally say something and the tension has reached its peak, instead of getting this sort of bubble burst, the sound abruptly stops and we cut to black. The title is introduced with the same song and guitar chord we opened with, and we revisit this nice interaction between the two main characters. So if this trailer is a representation of Joel's emotional state, we can tell that despite his immense pain, he won't talk about it and prefers to go back to his idea of a happy life. Now, all of this could be enough to make this trailer work, but we also have the narrative thread. Again, there is no plot revealed in this trailer, but the editor managed to use one big important element to serve as a story guide, and that is the guitar. By showing us different scenes with the guitar and by playing the sound of that instrument, we get this common denominator throughout. Joel picks up a guitar, gives it to Ellie who tries it, and then they both look at each other smiling, and we hear a chord being played. When we see the guitar again, Ellie is playing it to this girl who seems mesmerized. As the tension of the trailer rises, when we see the guitar again, it's Joel playing it. He looks to someone afar, tenses up, and we cut to Ellie with a serious look on her face. The guitar connects these three scenes thematically and manages to showcase character arcs at the same time. Ellie learns to play the guitar, Dina, the new character, falls in love with Ellie, Joel and Ellie's relationship changes. The guitar doesn't show up again for a while, but we still hear the instrument playing in the background as a music track, very reminiscent of the series soundtrack.
Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad.
We hear this guitar track playing up until the scene with Abby, one of the new characters. We see and hear the guitar again when we cut to the title and are shown the two main characters sitting at a table. This time, and connecting it all with the emotional thread of the teaser, we cut to Joel. He's no longer smiling like he was in the beginning, but he's also not in pain like we last saw him. Instead, he has this neutral look on his face, as if he were deep in thought. We as an audience are left to interpret his thoughts, now with the context of fear, love, tension, happiness, danger, and all the conflicting emotions shown in the trailer, wrapped up in that final look. The Kuleshov effect taken to its very extreme. And that's how the trailer takes you on this ride and tells you a story without having to reveal the plotline of this season. One thing that is, I think, important to also point out is how the trailer uses unresolution. Unresolution is what makes the audience come and watch your movie or your TV series. You can show a cool scene or something that might have them engage and then leave that open. Why are the two main characters looking at each other like that? Is there a tension between them? We don't know. What is Tommy looking at? What is Ellie looking at? There's an infected crawling behind her and she doesn't realize it. So we don't see how that scene ends. And then all of these scenes cutting to black just hint at more unresolution. There are so many questions that the trailer is asking and leaving unresolved, but you can't sell unresolution of an action without adding some empathy for the characters. The most effective way to do it is what I marked here in yellow. The shots in yellow are shots of characters' faces. It's usually good to have these shots throughout the trailer because it helps create empathy for the character. It helps us to try to understand what they're thinking, and by understanding what they're thinking, we can learn a bit more about them. A really good trailer has to balance the unresolution with the empathy and emotion, because you can only care about the unresolution if you have empathy for the characters. And if you have empathy for the characters but you don't have unresolution, then you don't have that feeling of curiosity to see what happens next. This teaser does something very interesting, which is continuing the trend of the previous trailers for the first season. That trend being using a song from the original video game onto the trailer. So the first teaser for season 1 had Alone and Forsaken.
He ain't even hurt.
The main trailer for season 1 played Take On Me, which, even though it's not played in the first game, it's played in the second game.
Than any of us could have ever imagined.
And the song used for this particular teaser of season 2 is the song Future Days, used in the beginning of The Last of Us Part 2, which is the video game in which this season is based on.
Our future days, days of you and me.
They use that trick that I've talked about in the past of using a song in a trailer, which is they don't really use the song as it is. You can tell that they isolated the vocal track and added this kind of like underwater effect to the voice, all that while playing some other track below. Now, I'm curious to see what they do with future trailers for this show, because obviously we have the reference of the first season and the advertisement that season got, but we also have the game in which this season is based on. Because the first season, they showed a teaser that revealed nothing of the plot, and then a main trailer that revealed the basic plot line, which is never revealed in any of the original trailers for the first game.
I need something smuggled out of the city.
Just cargo, Joel.
I just want some simple gear, enough to set me on my way.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
It's got everything to do with that little girl.
Why are you so important?
Somewhere out west. They're working on a cure. I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
With this new season, they can follow the approach of season 1 and tell a little bit about the plot, because some people complain that trailers spoil too much, but the truth is, if you want to sell to an audience, you have to tell a little bit of the story, or at least explain the premise of said story. Now, the trailers for The Last of Us Part 2, not only did they try not to reveal the story, they went ahead and replaced character models and recorded new lines to be said in the trailer in order to avoid people knowing what the actual plot is. Now, it's a bit controversial what they did because it goes beyond misleading and goes a bit to the lying territory. So I'm curious to know how much they're going to reveal and how much they're going to keep a secret. Now, the only thing missing from this analysis is telling you who cut the trailer, but honestly, I can't really figure out who did it. If any of you can figure it out and write down in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. With that being said, I hope you learned something from watching this. If you learned something and you do want to see more of these videos, I suggest you subscribe to the channel. I'm planning on making a lot more of these videos in the future. Other than that, keep watching trailers and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.